awesome people. So I spoke to Thomas Seyfried via email last night. He said he was going to mention me in a Twitter feed about this is my 10th year of survival of terminal inoperable glioblastoma multiforme grade 4 brain tumour, and I've outlived such a ridiculous prognosis of life and death by, let's say, 8 years now. I've outlived it, because the average survival for anyone with chemotherapy and radiotherapy is 12 to 15 months. That's the average. And for people without, that's kind of on a case-by-case basis. So for me, it was 6 to 9 months. So that's half a year. They gave me half a year without chemotherapy and radiotherapy. And when I denied chemotherapy and radiotherapy, they wished me luck. Luck isn't what I needed. What I needed was my own will, my own focus, my own trust in health, and my own innate wisdom to do what I believed was right for me. Ultimately, I had no choices. Chemotherapy was toxic. Radiotherapy is toxic. I didn't want to suffer and die. I wanted to thrive and die. So I wanted to be as healthy as I could be. So I chose a ketogenic diet, which was unheard of for GBM4. There was no case studies prior to me, I think, that had done just diets, that had taken this leap of faith, of love for life. And I'm glad I did it, and I'm in my 10th year. This is this year, and yeah, on Saturday, on the 18th of November, I'll be turning 35. I was 24, turning 25 when I was diagnosed. So I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to prove my existence through will and focus and love, and to share my message of hope and trust and intelligence, because to survive cancer, you've got to use all of that. You've got to have an element of faith, faith in yourself, I think, and you can trust your doctors, you can listen to your doctors, but I would say their wisdom is based on education that is flawed. It's outdated, it's misinformed, because of the wealth in the world is in certain central figures in the pharmacological industry complex, and the medical industry in complex, and also the food industry in complex. Massive corporations that control the education that they receive. And this is not a fallacy, this is the facts of the situation. People are misinformed, doctors are misinformed, politicians are misinformed, and each of them are paid. And it's no longer based on human health, the entirety of human health. It's based on what they can make out of it, money. So most people being diagnosed with cancer, it's a metabolic malfunction due to the food you're eating, the mass altered, ultra-processed foods that we're eating as a human race. I mean, you look at the world, the state of the world, the madness in the world, the mistaken identities that people assume because of this woke culture, and that's forcing and oppressing people and confusing people, worst of all. Fortunately, I grew up in a time where there was no confusion about who I was. I turned to drugs, I did cannabis, I experimented, I opened my mind, and I became more aware of my own power and my own faults, and I changed my faults into my own power, and that's how I overcome this diagnosis of cancer. I had already experienced a paradigm shift in the way I thought and felt about myself, because I used to kind of carry in fear of who I was. I didn't love myself, and I learned that by loving myself I was open to love from another, and I ended up finding love, and I've mentioned this loads of times. And that love has transformed me into someone who survived terminal cancer, and this love for self, this love for another, I've created a love in my children, And I just want to survive, and I want to thrive, and I want to continue to be an example to those who cannot find their own hope, their own faith in themselves. And that's why I'm here. I think, maybe it's God's will. I am an atheist. I believe in the spiritual relationship of love between every being on this planet, animals, humans. It's a cycle, the cycle of life. You got to trust in that, and I've used that cycle to survive. I'm pretty much carnivore. I have a bit of onion, spices. I have a bit of dairy, and that's pretty much all I eat. And I don't see anything inherently wrong in me, apart from the fact that I've had two operations which give me fatigue, unbalanced body in terms of my left side is weaker than my right. But I think that I'm doing really well. Not financially. So financially I am struggling so much, and I'm so grateful for the people who've just recently donated some funds to me to allow me to have a peaceful birthday coming up. It's been almost 10 years since I was diagnosed, and it's a rebirth. Is every year when I have a birthday I'm reborn. I've got another chance to continue this existence that I've been given, that I've embraced. And I'm so grateful to those people that keep donating, keep being kind and generous, and grateful for my honesty and reciprocal of my honesty. I think without you guys out there who keep supporting me and pushing me up, I would be struggling even more. So that's all I got to say, really. And yes, if you would like to donate to me and to support me and my family in surviving this economic disaster that is the planet Earth at the minute, because the benefit system is corrupt, the energy complex is corrupt, the food complex is corrupt, and the small people like me, the little people on the scale of financial wealth, struggling so much, and it's unreal. So I would appreciate all donations, all followings, all support. If you like and subscribe my video channel, that helps. Hopefully one day I can get monetized for my content, but that's in the future. I'm going to write my book, I'm going to do all these things, I'm going to support myself, I'm going to work towards that goal of being completely free from financial burden. But yeah, all my love, people, and I hope you find your own truth and your own honesty and your own love.